to poke you, and now I'm confused.
She's making a round.
We'll get there.
And Kim's behind anyway.
She'll be late. I'll be her for the first
Oh, she
15
is.
minutes. Yeah.
You do.
I'm assuming Kim got away, yeah.
Dan's ready. I'm ready. You're ready. I am hoping Kim. We better rap it loudly though.
Yeah, you do that.
Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt all the wonderful conversations going on though. If we could bring the meeting to order, please, at 6:03. I am playing the role of secretary until the secretary arrives, so I'm saying that to myself. And I'm going to open it up with a roll call. Colleen Klimczak, present. Claudia Parker, absent with notice. Rachel Marroquin,
Yes.
Michael Allmiller,
Present.
Denise Jones.
Yes.
And Kimberly Leonard will be here. Judy Rayson is also absent with notice, so. Excellent. If we could take a moment, please, and, if we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If my board could take a peek at the agenda, please, at your spots at the table. And if I could have a first motion to approve the agenda as listed.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Michael. Second. Thank you, Denise. And I will call a roll. So Michael Allmiller.
Yay.
Denise Jones.
Yes.
Rachel Marroquin.
Yes.
Colleen Klimczak. Claudia, Judy, and Kim Leonard absent. We have a quorum, so we can carry on. Excellent. Okay, so I will tag off on the staff reports for Dr. Woodland.
Great. Our first report tonight is in honor of Alan Reyes, and it's dedicated to our kindness day that we would like to celebrate tonight in his memory. So would you like to come up and say a couple words to us, or would you like to wait till Anna gets here?
We're missing Anna and Kevin. Unfortunately, they're at a track meet right
Okay,
now.
okay.
It's important.
Yes, for sure.
We addressing the board, everybody?
Everybody, thank you,
Yes,
Mark.
welcome, thank you.
Would you like to introduce yourself to everyone?
I'm Mark Fryer. I'm one of the two band teachers in the district.
And I'm Jeff Landewer. I'm Alan's dad.
Thank you for being here.
I know a lot of you probably don't know who Alan was. He was our oldest son. He was born in September 26, 2006. He was a gifted musician, actually. He started playing band in the 5th grade.
Yes.
And by the time he entered the 6th grade, he was playing in 3 different bands. He was playing with 7th and 8th graders. And, while his mom and I knew that he would spend part of his time, he would go back and try to help the 5th graders. After Alan suddenly passed away on February 22nd, 2019, there was a lot of students that we started hearing a lot of stories about how kind he was, just all the things that he would do for his fellow students, and how much he really thought about them and cared about them. Shortly, not long after his death, one of the students had approached the principal of Southeast at the time, Mr. Sheldon, and asked if, they could honor Alan's birthday every year by doing something kind for other students. And with the board's help and the faculty, they actually established Kindness Day on every September 26th in Alan's honor, and the students, pretty much, I guess, in all the schools in D124, they do something kind to help others, and it's a great way to remember our son. Since then, it's been a challenge for our family, as you can imagine. The holidays and everything, it's tough. But we, with the help of Anna and the drive of my wife, who most of you that know her, she's a pretty driven woman.
She's amazing.
Every September, we try to raise money for the band in particular, and really just to honor our son, so that Mr. Dreyer and other teachers, band teachers, have the funds to go purchase instruments, to repair instruments, to buy sheet music for the kids. And at the end of the day, it would be a wonderful thing if every child that wanted to play an instrument had an opportunity to play an instrument. I know a lot of us grew up in, families where we never had to worry about the cost of things like that. But there's a lot of families that don't have the money to pay for those things. And those are the kids that, we need to make sure they have those opportunities as well. So this will be our 4th year of doing this. Actually, it's hard to believe Alan's been away from us for 4 years right now. But I know in the last 3 years, I believe in total we probably raised over $10,000. And Mr. Dreyer, I think you got
I
a
believe
pretty.
it's close to 12,500,
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
around 12,000, yeah.
But, maybe if you could kind of comment on some of the
Absolutely,
kids that hopefully
absolutely.
you've been able to help. And
Well, yeah, I'm just, so, it always takes me a long time to spend the money. I still haven't spent last year's money because, well, we Norwegians, we like being efficient. I mean, I go to an extreme to just make sure that we can get absolutely as many used instruments from Quinlan as we can. I really like to stretch the dollar because there's always the next Isaiah Matthews out there. I'm just gonna tell the story of one student, but there's lots of them. So the Isaiah, when we recruit new band students, 5th graders, even 6th and 7th and 8th graders can join the inner band, especially 6th, 7th, and 8th graders who transferred in from another district that didn't have band in their former school. And we talk to them as though everybody's parents are gonna buy them an instrument, because then you find out if their parents can afford an instrument, they get it. We don't wanna just loan school instruments to parents who can legitimately afford it. So we talk to everybody as if they're buying an instrument, and then within 2-3 weeks later, those that didn't buy an instrument, we start investigating who's, good grades and gonna be a dedicated kid that would be worthy of borrowing a school instrument. Well, last year Isaiah Matthews came to me 3 weeks into the school year. He was an 8th grader, transferred in, didn't have band in his Chicago public school, and he said he wants to try out for band. So we let him try everything, excelled on the trombone. Isaiah had 4 years of piano lessons. By the end of the year, he was in the top 10% of the 8th grade class on the trombone. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes on to be a music major. He just excelled. And without that trombone that their fundraiser was able to purchase, that was one of the instruments we purchased, several trombones. Right now, I have a dozen students that are currently playing in band on flute, clarinet, saxophone, trumpet, trombones that were purchased from the Reyes fundraisers for the previous 2 years. That we're going to get more instruments with this fundraiser, because then more kids that want to join band. You never know where you're going to find the next Isaiah Matthews, because I wouldn't be surprised if he goes on to major in music. But the kids that are just really zealous, it takes some time. We investigate. We talk to their teachers. We talk to the parents. Kids that are really zealous to be in band, we really try to find an instrument for those kids if they can't afford it. So I'm doing my research right now. We currently have another dozen instruments. We have D124 Central has a lot of vintage instruments, let's put it that way. We've repaired many of them. We're repairing, I have about a dozen more that are getting estimates right now, and then as soon as we get all those, get that budget back, and and the district's gonna pay for some of those too, you know, the repairs, it's not all coming through Reyes fundraiser, but as soon as we figure out how much of that is left, you know, we're buying a piccolo, we're buying you know, more clarinets, saxophones, trumpets, and trombones, because we have at least 24 students right now that wanna join band that don't have the finances. So I know the lives, Alan's life is still touching large numbers of students, and just to piggyback on what he said, when there was a band rehearsal, Alan was there. Every single band rehearsal he came to when he was in 6th grade, he came to 5th grade band, 6th, 7th, 8th jazz band, he came to every band rehearsal, just to help out, just to assist. And if somebody was bullying somebody, he was in their face, standing up against bullying. So I'm so grateful for his legacy and his memory continuing. And
It's tough to
all
fill
the
his
work
shoes, I'll
he's
tell
doing.
you that.
And little brother Kevin, Mrs. Reyes wasn't ready for Kevin to be in band for the first couple of years after Alan passed, and I get that, I can understand that, but last year, halfway through the year, Kevin said he's ready to be in band, and now he's excelling on the French horn in 7th grade band, so, Alan's memory lives on in Kevin
That's
as
great.
well, so thanks for all the hard
Thank
work.
you, thank you all for your support. Thank you, Yolanda.
And I can just tell last year was my first year that I got to walk the halls on Kindness Day, and what I can say is that his memory just lives and breathes in our schools, and I'm just so proud to be a part of it, so thank you so much.
It means more than you can imagine.
Thank you so much.
So our next guest, we have two special guests this evening from Arrow Special Education Cooperative, Dr. Gunnell and Dr. Roslin. I'm gonna let them both say their very lengthy titles for us. And as they introduce us to the team and talk about their succession plan and the future of Arrow.
Okay. Well, thank you for the opportunity to address the board and the public tonight. I am Jimmy Gunnell. I've had the privilege of serving as your executive director for 17 years. And yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh.
A long time. I have I fully participated in 2 strategic plans for District 124.
Yes.
However, I got a little busy last year, and I think I only made it to maybe 1 or 2 meetings, Michael, and that's certain.
That's
But,
great.
business got in the way, I'll just say that. I want to personally and publicly thank you for all of your years of support, hosting our classrooms. And I would be remiss if I didn't say a big thank you for putting your own projects to the side and finding funding to support our new school, which I'm happy to report we're on schedule and we're really close to closing the envelope on that. Dr. Woodland will speak to that, I think, later.
Yes.
So, it's just a big thank you, and I'll introduce Dr. Roslin, who is the next executive director, and I will gladly pass the baton off to him come June 30th. So, how about this? The transition plan is, right now, may I call you Bill? Bill is on a listening tour, so he's been on a listening tour since July 1st, and getting immersed in the way we do things at Arrow, meeting staff, everybody, teachers, clerical staff, maintenance, administrators, and all of that, and he is actually supervising one program right now. I asked him to take on the transition program due to a retirement, so Bill is getting acquainted, and then come January, he will start taking on more of the daily operations of Arrow, and I will focus my attention on completing the project, which I'm thankful that because all of you approved my contract last year, I have 1 more year and I can fulfill my commitment to the board that I will be here until the building is finished. So thank you again. Bill?
Well, hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, pleasure to meet all of you. I always start by saying, you know, Dr. Gunnell is a very tough act to follow, but I will certainly do my very best for you and for all the Arrow communities. So I have been at Arrow just a couple of months now, as Dr. Gunnell, Jimmy said. I've been on a listening tour. I have thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. We are already in the process of doing some planning and putting a structure in place for the new Aero Center, which we know will be a wonderful opportunity for all the students here from D124. We're committed to making sure that when that new building opens, that your students that attend our programs have no disruption at all in services. In fact, we actually believe that once we get all of us under one roof, that we will put the structures in place that will allow our staff to thrive, which we believe will allow our students to thrive in ways that just haven't been possible as they are now in terms of being spread out all over. So that's all I really had to say. It was just it's a pleasure to be here and meet you all again. Thanks for having us, and I look forward to working with all of you.
So good to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great having
Don't forget your cupcakes.
you. Yes, please take it. Right. So we have a next big announcement too, and I'm gonna let Miss Carrie Berry talk about the Burlington Coat Factory School Grant Recipient Award.
It's like a maze today.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Burlington Coat Factory Adopt a School Grant. AdoptAClassroom.org is a national non-for-profit organization that helps teachers get the funding they need for classroom supplies. So Burlington Coat Factory teamed up with one of our fourth grade teachers, Miss Julie Dudasik, on a special project to surprise a teacher at our school with some supplies and then a donation to support all of our teachers at the school so they can order supplies to meet the needs of their students within their classroom. So Miss Dudasik and I talked about this, so I encouraged her to choose a colleague. I mean, anyone at Northeast, of course, could have received this, but to choose a colleague that inspired her. She's last year she was a second-year teacher that supported her. So the first person that came to mind was her interventionist coach, Miss Carrie Nee. So she surprised Miss Carrie Nee with a box of supplies, and then Burlington Coat Factory surprised us with a $10,000 check. So we were at my house for our retirement party, that's the back right there. And so we walked out with this fake $10,000 check and surprised the staff there at the party. So there's a video too, but I didn't show the video. They were actually they're spending their money as we speak. They each received an email, and I think it came out to about $335 per teacher that they were able to order supplies for the classroom. So we're very proud, of Ms. Dudasik's initiative to take on this project. She also shared it on social media, so she can stand. There's Ms. Dudasik right there, and then Ms. Nee in the back. And then the parents are here. So, and again, this is just to support teachers and, put a little less dent in their pocket and, again, give right back to our students who need it, so.
So you didn't spend all $10,000 yourself?
No, I didn't.
No, but you could have, so thank you for sharing too. And we have appreciation,
Yes.
so.
So both Julie and Carrie, if you would come up, and we would welcome your parents to come up and take a picture with us as well. We would love to have you in the picture. So we just wanted to demonstrate our appreciation and what we believe in here at Evergreen Park is just this ability to give back to each other, and this was just an exemplary definition of kindness, and so we wanted to acknowledge you as well. So thank you so much, and we're gonna all take a picture.
He's got it, and then he can, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Bring it, come on, let's bring it in.
Okay. Look here.
Oh,
I love
that's
it.
cute. Super perfect. All right, we can all get it? You get it?
Everybody.
Yes, everyone get it.
Do not stand behind.
Come on. I'm so happy you invited your parents.
They get cupcakes too?
Cupcakes.
Cupcakes.
Thank you.
I tried to be you, Tim, but there's no replacing you.
Yes, look at this.
Fantastic.
All right, our next update, it is National Custodial Worker Day recognition. And so if I had one word to really describe our custodians, it's really they are the glue that holds us together each and every day. And when I think about the amount of work that they put in, especially over this past summer with extreme amount of construction, there was never a time where they said they couldn't show up and do the work and just to get it done for the sake of our kids. They really truly come together in an effort to really do what's needed to be done to support our students on a daily basis, so we wanted to acknowledge them today. Additionally, I just have to give a big shout out to Jim Hennessy, who is the leader of the department, who really manages and facilitates their everyday work. I called Jim time and time again, especially this summer when we were under mass construction, and he always showed up to ensure that everything got done to a great extent, and so we are all very appreciative of his work as well. So thank you so much, Jim. So we have awards that we will hand out to every custodian, but we just wanted to honor them publicly as well.
That is awesome. We are so grateful. We have a great facility staff.
They're amazing.
They're
Yes.
amazing every day, so they're the behind the scenes.
Yes.
Yes.
They're amazing every day. I was reading up on the custodial appreciation and just the above and beyond care for COVID. My gosh, everything had to, every touch, every surface, everything.
Everything.
They had to step up their already busy, completely full-time pace and do even more just to protect our students and our staff. So much appreciated,
Yes.
absolutely.
And so now we celebrate Jim with a facilities update. Thanks so much, Jim.
Congratulations, you get to speak to us now. Yay!
Oh, and John is also here tonight. I wanted to acknowledge that he is also here. John is one of our custodians.
Regarding the custodians, I just want to say thank you to all of them, because I couldn't do my job if I had to worry about them all the time. They all do a great job. They make my job easier, so I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
We have some updated pictures for everyone of the construction that was done this summer. As you can see here, Northeast, before and after the new gymnasium floor, paint, lights. It's, anyone that's walked in that gym has been just amazed. Even yesterday, we did lockdown drills with the police, and the first thing they wanted to see was the gym in Northeast.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
And they fully recognized it. Like as soon as they walked in, they were like, "Oh my gosh, what happened to Northeast?"
Yeah.
That's great.
So, yeah, the kids love it. The first day of school was great. Everyone that hadn't seen it yet was very excited. It was very cool to see.
At those floors,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
So there's some more pictures of the hallways at Northeast, another picture of the gym.
That is so nice.
Wow.
On the right is our ribbon cutting ceremony, which was a lot of fun. The kids got to come in before school started, and parents got to see it. Everyone was excited.
I have it on good authority from, I think, a 3-year-old little brother that the gym floor is very fast. He made sure, it's so fast. So there you go.
Good.
Good to
Good.
know,
That's
right?
what I was hoping for.
It improved their
Yes.
speed.
Apparently so, yes. He's very cute.
And here's some pictures. This is from
Nice.
Southeast on the ribbon
Oh,
cutting
this
night.
is so nice.
So you can see the new floors and paint in the hall.
Oh my gosh.
We had a decent turnout for the ribbon cutting and a nice day, which was perfect.
That's awesome.
As far as, are there more pictures? Oh yeah, there were more pictures.
That one's southeast.
That's
I'm
southeast.
seeing the pictures from.
We have some pictures from Central, I thought.
Okay, let me fix something.
There's a slide out of
There we go. We're at
So
it.
there's southeast.
Okay,
Look at Southeast. That looks
There's a slide out of
gorgeous.
order.
there we go. Now you should click.
That looks beautiful. Oh,
So there's the bathrooms at Central
are those the ones in the basement?
on day one of
Oh.
construction. You know,
Look
Kim's
at
very,
that.
Yes.
See?
Rubble.
Yes.
Oh.
I put that on there for you.
the picture on the left that was how it was during the school year, so.
There's a
it's-
few alumni in this room that would appreciate their getting redone.
Yes, it was definitely time.
Definitely try. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow.
It's one of the new staff bathrooms that we were able to do.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
That's,
Oh,
that's the same that one of, the
That's
pile
nice.
of, the pile
Wow.
of rubble, pile of rubble is now there.
oh my God, look at that. Oh, that looks gorgeous.
Yeah, they did a great job.
They did. Oh my gosh, that looks beautiful.
So next year, is phase 2 of the project. We'll be doing 6 more
That main floor,
student bathrooms.
we're on it. I won't be here, but that main floor is gonna be done.
So,
I'm gonna hold your word to it. Next year, I'm gonna be at these meetings.
so the purchasing of the supplies and everything for next summer is already ongoing, so
Oh,
we should
gosh.
be
Wow,
good to go.
Okay.
that's awesome.
And we're meeting with the architect this Friday. Dr. Woodland and Mr. Grossi and I are meeting with the architect to discuss possible further projects, possible grants we might be able to look into so we can keep going.
Yes, I'm so excited.
There's always more to do. It's just like homeownership. There's always
There's a lot
more.
to do,
Yes.
Yeah.
but if we can get a little at a time,
We're on the right track.
Yeah, look at that. That's
So
gorgeous.
excited about those bathrooms. I know, it sounds
I know.
silly, but it's
well,
like,
it's,
It matters.
it matters. I mean, we have a beautiful school and every corner of it needs to be showcased.
For sure.
Except that bathroom on the main floor. Next summer, I know.
any other questions?
Looks great. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you for everything. I'm so excited. Jim did send me a picture right after they demoed
Sure you did.
it. Kim, shut up. Here you go.
Okay, next is a review of our 4-year contract agreement. Drum roll please,
Yes,
right?
Excellent.
This is such an exciting time for us to be able to present a union contract with our Board of Education in collaboration. So I just wanted to go over some big picture union contract highlights for everyone. So it is a fair and equitable salary increase to all union employees to aim at our agreed upon goal of recruitment and retention of high quality educators, because that's what we believe in here at Evergreen Park. It allows for internal transfer opportunities. I'm gonna say what it really means. We don't have to do this lengthy bid process anymore, right? And we still really value the ability for teachers to have the ability to internally transfer, because that's something that's important to our teachers. We maintain board contributions for our health insurance, which was important to our teachers and our board as well. Personal day increases of 2 days up to 3 for the ability to save up to 4 personal days. We are providing support staff with 2 additional days of paid professional development within the school calendar year, because we want to be able to support our paraprofessionals. We're going to provide a premium for support staff working our summer school as we continue to value the summer school that we're providing for kids. And we intend to extend benefits to all part-time teachers that are participating in job shares. And of course, it was always our goal to maintain a balanced budget while doing so, and we are happy to report, Eric will report tonight, that we will also be maintaining a balanced budget in the process. So it is also extremely important to acknowledge the members of the bargaining team, because until you actually sit at the table, I don't think you recognize how much time and energy and dedication that really goes into ensuring that both sides have what they need to be successful in order to serve students each and every day. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we all have the same vision in mind, and that's to be able to support kids and to be able to provide the services that we need to be successful. So I am going to read every single name on this slideshow, because I think it's important to recognize who dedicated the time to making this happen. So Michael A. Miller, board member. Thank you, Michael. Matt Bannock, principal at Northwest. Sarah Bledsoe, she is here tonight, 2nd grade teacher. Hi, Sarah. Jenny Craig, 7th grade science teacher. Tony Dema, SLP at Southeast. Ali Grazovich, union co-president. Tracy Gleason, hi Tracy, thank you for coming, technology teacher. Eric Grossi, director of business service. Colleen Klimczak, board president. Kim Leonard, board secretary. Barb Nelson, hi Barb! Paraprofessional Southeast, Joanne Riley, 2nd grade teacher, Southwest. Maritza Rivera, previous union co-president. Donna Mulranen, Secretary at Northwest, and Mary Zalfke, Coach Interventionist. So thank you so much to every single member. Dedicated an extreme amount of time to the process, and I would also like to turn it over to any board member to make any additional comments that you have regarding negotiations, as it is on the agenda for board approval tonight.
I am grateful for all the work from both teams. It doesn't happen without the hard work, and I really, really do appreciate many hours that we all spent working on this. Not taking anything lightly, really digging deep and, doing all that was necessary to really help both sides feel like we have something that we can all support. So I appreciate my board. I appreciate everyone who was involved in the process, because it was a good process. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Great, next topic. Okay, so Ashley Carlson is in Springfield, so it would be a little bit difficult for her to do her report. So I'm actually gonna do Ashley's report for her tonight. So her report is regarding Opening Institute Day. Oh, awesome. Oh my gosh, I love this picture.
Oh gosh, the guy.
You guys remember that? Scott's like in the background. So some highlights. So we had 2 very successful Opening Institute days this past August. So our first day, we brought in Curtis Hill. He is a very popular speaker who really focuses on, this past session, he focused on managing the chaos of teaching and really allowed us to unite together as a staff to set us off on the right foot, to really energize us and provide a positive, uplifting message for us to move forward with. We also rolled out our lovely EP family sign, which has become super popular around the district. I actually have parents emailing me asking if they can have the sign. So I'm thinking of some creative solutions of how we can get that out into our community and in the hands of our kids as well. So our first day was very successful in nature and a big group gathering. Our second day was more tailored to what Ashley would call what I need professional development. We definitely let out a big push for our Eureka Math Committee, which was focused on our new math adoption. So our teachers in K-5 had a day-long training that was targeted towards our math curriculum that we just adopted this past spring. And then there were some additional breakout sessions for ancillary groups that was also led by Miss Becky Terrell. So PBIS training was a highlight at Central Middle School, as requested by teachers and the building leadership team. We had some action planning that was let out for our EL department. We also brought in specific training for our paraprofessionals to focus on behavior solutions. We reviewed 504 plans, physical requirements for nurses, functional behavior analysis for our behavior plans for our social workers, and then we also conducted a listening session, which I will speak to in Becky's report as well. So overall, we had a successful day. On the previous side, I'm sorry if you could go back one, to this were some of the words that were shared from staff regarding the evaluation. That was motivating, inspiring, enthusiastic, so we got great positive feedback from our staff. So thank you so much. It was a great 2 days. Great. I'm also Becky tonight.
You are everybody, my goodness.
You're probably done with me talking.
The role of Becky will be
Played by.
Yes.
and Ashley.
So I had the luxury of working with Becky, Ms. Terrell, on the second day of Institute Day. And based on feedback from our staff, they had really shared that the Student Services Department wanted the opportunity to really sit together and discuss the long-term vision and goals of the department. So the department got together in totality to talk about strengths and weaknesses, really regarding procedures and policies within the department itself, curriculum, our continuum of services, collaborative practices, and then we aligned what we should prioritize our work around moving forward. After that session, then Becky then sent out a survey to that group of educators to really determine what our specific next steps would be. So she's ranked this in order and we'll share this out, but one of the most important things that the teachers are really saying that we need to move forward with is really stabilizing our internal procedures to ensure that everyone has clear and consistent communication of what that looks like and sounds like. Curriculum was obviously still a high priority, especially at Central Middle School related to special education services and them needing curriculum to support their students. Continuum of services, lacking definition, so that's something that team will really work to develop this year. And then continuing to meet on a regular basis. So this past, not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday prior, Becky then brought together that team again during our PLC time, like late Wednesdays. And that will be a standing monthly meeting that they'll consistently have over time to ensure they have checkpoints along the way to make progress towards their goals. Any questions concerning Becky's update?
That's a lot.
Yes.
It's
So
very
she-
gratifying. It's so many of the things we talked about at our table at strategic plan. I was,
Word for word off the strategic plan in
it's making-
places, so that's
Yes.
making my heart happy. This is fantastic.
Yes, and I can tell you that I was there for the session on Institute Day, and there's a lot of positivity and energy towards the future of the Student Services Department. And then the next step will be, how do we bring our community into this conversation as well? So we're starting with teachers internally to ensure that we get their voice in the decision-making process, to make sure that that's established, and then talk through how we bring in our community members.
It's a busy first month of school. My goodness.
Yes.
Okay.
Great. I am not Eric tonight.
The role of Eric will be played by Eric, yes. Excellent.
I asked, she said no.
Can't all be Jenna tonight. Not all of it. A lot of it, but not all of it.
We received a FOIA last month from Mr. Joseph Shasane from VALIC. That FOIA has been completed. Statement of revenues, not too much revenue in the last month. We got our evidence-based funding for education fund. That's about it. Expenditures, you'll notice there have been some capital project expenditures this year. That has to do with finishing out our summer projects. With those being in August, we paid it once it was done. So that falls in this fiscal year. And then outside of that, it's just salaries and benefits as well. And then the fund balances remain relatively flat as well. Any questions?
That was really fast.
Okay. So TRS has been talking about a supplemental savings plan for a while. We were kind of holding out to see what they were going to say, give us more directive kind of thing. And they officially made it so we have to have, it's required to be approved by the end of the month, so we put it on the agenda for this month. A little bit about the plan. It's a requirement that has been established for school districts to adopt the TRS supplemental savings plan. What is the supplemental savings plan? It's basically a 457. It is a 457. It's a tax-favored retirement savings plan that is intended to supplement the retirement benefits provided by the TRS defined benefit plan. There is a minimum contribution of $30 per pay period that is required in order to be a part of this plan. As a staff member, it's important to know only new TRS members will automatically be enrolled in the benefit plan. And as of now, they do not have a set date on it. They think it's going to be as of January 2023. And so that would be like, if we had a teacher come here from another district, they would not be automatically enrolled. But if we have a paraprofessional in our district become a teacher, then they would become enrolled. Because it's just if they were involved with TRS before.
So is this like the tier 2 employees?
It's everybody.
Would they have a tier 1, tier 2?
It's just TRS as a whole. It doesn't.
Okay,
tiers
you're
don't-
just saying flat.
Yeah, the tiers don't matter for this one.
So, the tiers don't, so who's paying the $30?
The
The
employee.
employee.
The employee.
And it's a requirement by the state. So every single school district in the state of Illinois is required and obligated to feed into the TRS supplemental savings plan. And it's to offset retirement savings to ensure that an employee has a set aside amount to
contribute to their retirement.
So did they determine that like TRS funding was insufficient? They needed to come up with this supplemental plan?
Yes.
That's a great way to put it.
There right now,
Yes.
that's my theory. But, yeah.
You said it's like before 57?
Yeah, it's like a retirement annuity plan. And current TRS members, once approved, if it's approved and registered with TRS, they'll receive a letter in the mail from Voya, which is the vendor that is running this program through TRS. And the letter will have an enrollment guide with instructions on how to contribute if that is what they're interested in doing.
So, but, okay, so I don't understand. As a staff member, do I have to contribute to TRS, SSP? Only new members automatically have to contribute?
Mhm.
So, anyone that was hired this year, they don't have to contribute?
It's starting January 2023. It's anyone that just started with TRS specifically
This school year?
$30 is
after
required
January
if
2023.
they wanna be a
Oh,
part.
starting January 2023, anyone that has signed, okay.
Yeah, so they
So
have,
like his example of para to teacher, then you're paying into TRS, cause they're shifting job categories. It would never
Oh, okay,
affect
so if a
you.
para went from a para to in January to a teacher,
Correct.
they would automatically start having.
Yes.
So the other people are optional if they wanna pay.
optional, and the new TRS members are automatically enrolled, but they're able to get out of it. But
have to do
they start off.
Oh,
by being
they're
Yeah, it's not-
automatically
yeah.
enrolled, but then
Not a
they
requirement.
could, okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Good
So
question.
the non-optional part is the district's participation.
We have to
Which is,
that's everyone.
that's
We
fine,
have to offer it
but
to
other
them.
than that,
We
but
have to offer it to
membership,
them, they,
yes, but
yeah.
membership, it sounds like
Right.
is provided or optional or et cetera. So yeah, the only required part is us to vote on it tonight, but
So
for
is
the
the district
participants.
into it as well?
No,
No?
no, you're not paying
It's
any
just
money into
another
it.
option for them.
Okay, so final budget. This is pretty similar to my presentation from last month. Timetable, last month I brought the tentative budget to the board. The tentative budget was on display at the district office, and a notice of public hearing was set for today, and it was placed in the newspaper. The district is holding the public hearing today on the budget, and the Board of Education could approve the final budget. The budget is then going to be filed with the state of Illinois by October 20th, 2022. A breakdown of the total budget by fund. Revenues total $32,259,000. Expenditures $34,435,000. If you look at that, it does show that it would look like it's roughly a $2 million deficit, but with our bond money, that's included in this number. So we received all our bond money last year. So if we're spending it this year, it's gonna affect it, but that's not factored in with the state and everything. So in reality, we're running at a surplus.
So we're running a surplus balance. Okay, thank you.
Some highlights. The real estate tax revenues are projected to decrease due to the tax abatement associated with the state's property tax relief grant. Property tax relief grant dollars have been added to the evidence-based funding figure beginning in last fiscal year. The evidence-based funding dollars will increase $54,000 for the fiscal year of '23, which is not a lot.
Why is it so?
Because we're a tier 2 district. So if you recall, we're not poor enough to get all this money from a district from like the state funding level, but we're not wealthy enough to also get all this funding from like
Like,
taxpayer
that's so
dollars.
sad, our evidence-based funding went up 1%.
It has to do with like the state budget, so
Right,
we just
I
didn't
know.
get as much in the budget this year for increases with the funding.
Thank you.
State grant revenues are projected to be flat, while federal grant revenues are projected to increase due to timing matters of payments. And the district will receive $1,826,000 in ESSER grant dollars related to expenses incurred in prior years.
So that's reimbursement of money, kind of.
Yes.
It's not new money we
It's
get
not
to
new
spend.
money, right?
Here's a breakdown of budgeted revenues by sources. You'll see real estate taxes make up 66% of our revenues, evidence-based funding at 14%, federal grants at 13%, and then other local and restricted state grants at 5% and 2%. some expenditure highlights. Employee health insurance costs are projected to increase approximately 8% versus the previous fiscal year due to industry-wide increases in medical insurance premiums. The budget reflects $2 million in summer 2022 construction projects at Northeast and Southeast schools and $1.5 million in additional capital expenses committed at the time of the 2022 bond sale. And most other expense items will increase at rates slightly above historical levels due to inflationary pressures. Breakdown of expenditures by type. Exactly half of our expenditures go towards salaries. And then next is 14% to benefits, 13% capital outlay, purchase services 10%, and then supplies, materials, debt payments, out-of-district tuition, roughly 5%. The projected impact of the budget on fund balances, you'll notice that the all funds fund balance in blue is relatively flat while the bond proceeds is going down. That's with the relatively small surplus for the budget this year,
Yes, we're
so,
spending.
but the bond money will be mostly spent by the end of the year.
Which it has to be.
Has to be.
Yeah, right, so
It just
that's-
would be with payments.
Oh, yeah.
Our objective has been accomplished despite inflationary challenges and the impact of the property tax abatement on real estate tax revenues. The fiscal year 23 budget accomplishes the goal of achieving a structurally balanced budget. Any questions?
I know you've been working hard on this, thank you so much.
Of course. Of course. Cool. Thanks, guys.
So, next on the agenda is to open the floor for a public hearing regarding the fiscal year 23 budget. I'm going to ask Sonia if we have any green cards for the budget.
Not for the budget.
Okay. Is there any other conversation or communication that the board needs on the budget? Eric has explained everything thoroughly and we do appreciate it. And this is our second look at it, so that's very helpful, I find. Okay. So we will close the floor on the public hearing regarding the fiscal year 23 budget. And do we have any public comments for, okay, great, thank you. So we do have two folks for public comments, just a reminder, I don't have my script in front of me, oh my goodness. I'm really good with the script because I remember all the details. We're limited to 3 minutes, there will be a timer, we have to be respectful of that. Kim is our timekeeper because we all want to listen. And with that, I will call Tracy Gleason.
Hi, my name is Lucy Gleason. I'm a teacher at Southeast School and a parent of 3 children who attended schools in District 124, and a legitimately concerned community member. I was also a member of the union's team that recently negotiated the current contract. While I am satisfied that the union was able to reach an agreement that we felt would be accepted by our union members and thereby avoid a strike, I do feel that there are a couple of things that need to be stated. First, the negotiations update that the district posted to their website on September 7th was misleading and not entirely truthful. In addition, it was spiteful. As a matter of fact, its sentiment was in stark contrast to what the members of the school board's negotiating team stated at the onset of the negotiation process, that they sincerely appreciate the teachers and staff of District 124. That appreciation was surely not felt in that update. I was very disappointed in the tone of that message that was publicly posted to the community. Additionally, I feel that it should be noted that the board should understand this agreement for what it is, a gift. As a team, we listened to your repeated pleas of understanding that the district is in a state of financial distress. You stated that as much as you appreciate your staff, you simply could not afford to pay them what you would like to. I believe, as do many others, that the school board of District 124 has made some terrible financial decisions in the past. Not necessarily all of you sitting here today. But nonetheless, I believe it is these decisions that have put the district in the current state of financial distress. I do honestly feel that there are people in place who are now trying to make things right, and I have hope that they will do so. So this agreement is a gift of time. Time to get your finances in shape so that in 4 years, when the severe national crisis of a teacher shortage is likely to be even worse, you are able to come to the table with an offer that will ensure that prospective teachers want to teach here and current teachers will want to stay here. Evergreen Park is a special community. It is made up of a wonderfully diverse group of people who care deeply about the people, resources, and schools offered in our community. They deserve a school district that is in good financial shape and a school board that will make wise financial decisions. Thank you.
And next we have Barb Nelson.
You guys know how much I hate public speaking, right?
Well, you signed
But yet
up-
I still do
so
this.
we're
I
glad
don't
to
know
have you.
why.
Absolutely.
You know who I am, Barb Nelson. It'd take me 45 seconds. I just wanted to give a huge shout out. One, Jenna, you did not put yourself up on that list. You were a big part of that negotiating team and you should have recognized yourself also. So, thank you. Second, like I said, 45 seconds. Big shout out to Kathleen and to Christina for doing an awesome job, phenomenal job running Southeast. Thank you very much. I'm done.
Thank you, Barb. Thanks to both. It is not easy to get up and publicly speak, and so I do appreciate both inputs for this evening. I really do. Excellent. So next we will move on to our board reports with Dr. Woodland playing the role of Judy Rayson.
I'm Judy.
This evening as well, because she's also been to a recent Arrow board meeting. So you really are doing it all this evening,
This
my
is
goodness.
so fun. I always like playing roles. It's fun. Okay,
Great.
I have to look at my arrow notes really quick.
Of course, my goodness.
Okay, so at our most recent Arrow meeting, they really emphasized the new construction for the playgrounds that they're building on their new property, which was extremely exciting to see these renderings. So they're really specifying that one of the playgrounds is going to be dedicated for our younger children, that's more accessible for them, and space that's more appropriate for younger children. It was more of a playground design in nature that allowed for a lot of different sensory opportunities as well, which I was excited about. It included a sensory wall, music therapy, which was very unique and creative. Everything was wheelchair accessible for the most part. There was this also like very creative and unique teeter-totter that allowed for a child who was in a wheelchair to participate. So I was glad to see that there was a lot of like accessibility concerns that were addressed. The other side of the playground was dedicated to more older students that had like a larger space to play basketball and things of that nature. That was definitely inviting. In terms of the budget for the playground, they were estimating 1.5 million to build both centers, and they're currently under budget at 1.3, so that was good for me to hear. I made a start by that, just so everyone is aware. They also passed the most recent TRS resolution that Eric presented tonight, as it was an obligation of their board as well. They made one small amendment to their calendar as there was a minor error in the number of days, and that was board approved. And then the last larger topic that we talked through that I provided in a board update was they're going down the road of the sale of the property of their current building that's located in Burbank. And I agree with what they're doing. I think they're doing this very smart. They're doing a 3-tiered approach to sell the property. So the first approach will be they'll offer it to all cooperative districts, anyone who's interested in the sale. Then it will go to like governing bodies, and then the last round would be going to the public. So they intend to put it on the market in the very near future to determine whether or not our internal 11 feeder districts, if any of those are interested. And they got 2 different appraisals to determine the cost associated. So that is the Arrow update.
Very good.
Any questions? All right, thanks.
So I am presenting, and I just realized that Claudia Parker and Judy Rayson that are presenting.
I know.
I was like, well, I was at that policy meeting, but I did not bring those notes today. So, we'll see. So board member rep for district review team meeting, we don't have a report yet because we haven't met yet. So, the district review team will meet this coming Monday for the first meeting of this academic year. Myself and Ms. Denise Jones will represent the board at those monthly meetings. And I look forward to the good work of the team, led by Julie O'Connor. And we will report on topics, at next month's regular board meeting.
Yes,
So
Monday.
the report is that there is not a report, but there will be. When we, my mind just said, wait, do we have an agenda yet? So I don't think I have seen that yet, but that's okay, I'm sure it will come. So yeah. And then, policy committee?
Yes, I can cover
I am
policy.
so sorry.
No worries. This is the
I
Jenna show
was
tonight,
there,
guys. I'm so
I did not bring those notes
I
because
don't really like talking this much. This is great.
You are
Okay.
just wearing lots of people's
I
hats.
Oh my
know.
gosh.
Okay, so
Who
just, I'm gonna do like a general overview for policy, so first of all, we needed to update some of our policies related to people who have changeover. So Patricia will be taking on Phil's role as our new director of HR, and then Ashley will be taking the place of Vita in all of those policies, and that's really directly tied to if anyone were to file like a complaint, then they are notified and the proper parties are notified. And from there, we run an internal process. So that's
So
one
reporting.
big picture. The other policies that were related to a first reading, the one of which was adopted and revised by the policy committee was directly related to medical marijuana. So we determined as a policy committee that what we believed would be best, and this is a first reading tonight, was that we would want for only parents to administer on property medical marijuana in the event that was needed. And that was one of the big highlights. Can you think of any other
That reminded me of the other,
topics?
like the inhaler, EpiPens, Narcan, like that kind of stuff. That was all part of a general or of a related
A related
conversation
policy.
to have our nurse, our health aides and nurses have that available even if it isn't assigned.
Yes.
But then the conversation was more, obviously, a little more in-depth about who exactly we might want to have administering medical marijuana if it was necessary. And everyone was more comfortable with parents or caregivers, absolutely.
Yes. And the other policy that's really a larger update is tied to anaphylactic response. So the state of Illinois passed an update related to we need a response in the event a child had a severe allergy in a building. How are we as like a medical team and an administrative team going to respond to that student? We emphasize the fact that we have internal policies that are really driven by students' individual 504 plans or IEPs that really designate what those needs are. However, we are now required to provide a training. So I will be delegating Becky to ensure that that happens with our nurse team and that we provide that training to our staff in any capacity that's needed, directly tied to student need. So those were the big updates related to policy.
I don't think you have to do anything more now.
Great.
Perhaps, we'll see.
For now?
We'll see. Any questions about policy? Or anything else? Alrighty. So we will move on to our action items. First is our, item A is our consent agenda.
Did we change anything? I wasn't here, I apologize.
We did not.
Okay, thank you.
It would have
Just
been
wanna make sure.
hastily scrawled and probably illegible, but no, we did not.
Thank you.
So, first is item on the consent agenda is to approve the monthly transaction reports for August of 2022. Number 2 is to approve the fund balance reports for August of 2022. Number 3 is to approve expenditure report and projected payroll report for September of 22. 4 is to approve board minutes from the special meeting of August 10th, 22. 5 is to approve the board minutes from the regular meeting of August 17th, 2022. Number 6 is to approve the closed session minutes from the regular meeting of August 17th, 2022. Number 7 is to approve the destruction of closed session tapes from May of 2018. Number 8 is to approve the additions, the FML leave of absence, and the resignations as listed under personnel recommendations. If I could have a first motion to accept consent agenda item A,
I'll make the first motion.
and a second, please.
I'll second.
Thanks, Rachel. And a roll call?
Kim Leonard, yes. Rachel Merrickwin?
Yes.
Denise Jones?
Yes.
Michael Allmiller?
Yeah.
Colleen Clemzak?
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Excellent. Item number B is to approve the 4-year agreement between the District 124 Board of Education and the Evergreen Park Federation of Teachers Local 943. If I may have a first motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
I will second that motion. And a roll call.
Michael Allmiller?
Yay.
Colleen Clemzak?
Yay.
Kim Leonard, yes. Denise Jones?
Yes.
Rachel Merrickwin?
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Excellent. Thank you. Item number C is to approve fiscal year 23 budget. A first motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Excellent. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Denise. And a roll call?
Rachel Merrickwin?
Yes.
Denise Jones?
Yes.
Michael Allmiller?
Yay.
Kimberly Leonard, yes. Colleen Clemzak?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Excellent. Item D is to approve the TRS Supplemental Saving Plan Resolution. If I could have a first motion, please,
I'll make the first motion.
and a second?
Second.
Mike, and a roll call.
Kimberly Leonard, yes. Michael Allmiller?
Yay.
Denise Jones?
Yes.
Rachel Merrickwin?
Yes.
Colleen Clemzak?
Yes.
Yes, motion passed.
Great. Item E is to approve first reading of revised board policies 410, 470, 4180, 540, 570, 580, 5110, 5140, 5240, 670, 680, 6140, 6290, 715, and 7285 as recommended by the Illinois Association of School Boards. If I may have a first, please.
I'll make the motion.
Sorry. Excellent. No, it's good. And a roll call, please.
Rachel Merrickwin?
Yes.
Denise Jones?
Yes.
Michael Allmiller?
Yay.
Kim Leonard, yes. Colleen Clemzak?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Excellent. Item F is to approve the second reading and adoption of revised board policies 410, 470, 4180, 540, 570, 580, 5110, 5140, 5240, 670, 680, 6140, 6290, 715, and 7285 as recommended by the Illinois Association of School Boards. A first, please.
I'll make the first.
Thanks. And a second.
I'll second.
And a roll call.
Kimberly Leonard, yes. Rachel Merrickwin?
Yes.
Michael Allmiller?
Yeah.
Denise Jones?
Yes.
Colleen Clemzak?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Check us out with all of these policies.
I know.
Okay, so next press packet, right? Isn't that what we're up to? Okay. So item G then is to approve the first reading of revised board policies 2260, 2265, 510, 520, 5170, 720, 7180, and 270, sorry, as recommended by the Board Policy Committee. A first, please.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. And a second.
Second.
And a roll call.
Rachel Merrickwin?
Yes.
Denise Jones?
Yes.
Kim Leonard, yes. Michael Allmiller?
Yay.
Colleen Clemzak?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Excellent. And finally, to approve the second reading and adoption of revised board policies 2260, 2265, 510, 520, 5170, 720, and 7180 as recommended by the Board Policy Committee. A first, please.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
And roll call?
Rachel Merrickwin?
Yes.
Kim Leonard, yes. Colleen Clemzak?
Yes.
Michael Allmiller?
Yay.
Denise Jones?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Excellent. So we are now going to recess to closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district or legal counsel, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee or legal counsel to determine its validity. per 5, never know how to read that, Illinois CS, anyway. So, and collective negotiation matters between the district and its employer or their representatives, or deliberation concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. We will be taking action on the remaining action items listed on the agenda after closed session. You're welcome to stay, however, you don't have to, and it may be a late night, and we will not be re-upping the live stream when we come back. So, purely optional. I know what we need to do, but what you choose to do, it could be ours. So, but we will also be sending out a summary of everything by tomorrow morning, of any actions that are taken. So, we will recess to closed session, and thank you all for
you gotta make a motion to make all.
Oh, first, I'm always getting ahead of myself. A first motion, please.
First.
Thank you, Denise, and a second.
Second.
Okay. Kim and Michael can duke it out.
Denise,
That's excellent.
yes.
Yes.
Kimberly, yes. Michael? Rachel? Yes. And Claudia? No, sorry. Colleen?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you for keeping me on the straight and narrow,
That's okay.
Leonard, my
Thank you.
goodness.
Nope, that's all right.
Thank you all for being here this evening.
Thank you so much.
Please celebrate with us and grab a cupcake. If you don't wanna eat it now, it's portable.
But she said hour.